They laughed. Oh, they laughed hard. When you shared your dream, they smirked. When you failed, they pointed. They called you a joke, a nobody, just another failure destined to fade away. They said you'd never make it, that you weren't smart enough, strong enough, good enough. And maybe, for a moment, you believed them. Maybe you cried in silence. Maybe you broke down when no one was watching. But deep inside, something refused to die. A whisper that said, "They're wrong about you. You didn't quit. You didn't fold. Even when the world gave you every reason to walk away, you stayed in the fight. Because you weren't just chasing a dream. You were chasing proof. Proof that you are more than what they see. And now they're watching. Not with laughter, but with fear. Because you're not the same person they laughed at. You're becoming the person they said you'd never be. So they won't be laughing anymore. They'll be watching in silence as you rise. They laughed. That's the hard truth. When you dared to dream bigger than your surroundings, when you dared to take that first step toward something greater, they laughed. They didn't just laugh quietly, they laughed loudly, mockingly, as if your dream was a joke only they understood. But here's the reality no one tells you. Nobody believes in you until you prove them wrong. That's the bitter truth. Friends, family, even strangers, they want you to stay small because your success highlights their fears and failures. They want you to settle, stay comfortable, and never rise above the noise. So when you reached for the stars, they didn't cheer. They scoffed. They called you crazy. But the question is, did you stop? Most people do. Most people quit at the first sign of mockery, the first failure, the first moment of doubt. That's why most people never win. They let the laughter drown their voices. They let the sneers become their truth. But not you. Not yet. Because deep down, you know this. The ones who laugh the loudest are scared the most. They laugh because they can't imagine doing what you're about to do. They laugh because their world depends on keeping you small. But you have a choice. You can let the laughter stop you, or you can let it fuel you. Every step forward you take, every time you push past the voices of doubt, you break their expectations. You rewrite the story they tried to write for you. The world will never hand you success on a silver platter. No one is going to save you or believe in you unless you force their eyes open with your relentless effort. And that's where most fall apart. They want the cheerleaders before the battle. But life doesn't work that way. The truth is harsh. If you want to win, you have to prove yourself over and over again. And that starts by ignoring the laughter. You see, the world doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't stop spinning just because someone mocked you or because you felt broken. It keeps moving with or without your approval. The people who laughed at you, they'll keep laughing, trying to convince themselves they were right. But you're fighting for more than just proving them wrong. You're fighting for your own life, your own future. You're fighting because you believe there is something inside you worth more than their doubts. No one owes you respect or belief until you earn it. That's the hard truth. But here's the secret. When you refuse to stop, when you keep moving forward despite the laughter, you become unstoppable. The ones who laughed? They'll be left behind, stuck in their small thinking. And you? You'll be miles ahead, building a life they couldn't even imagine. Remember this, they laughed, but you didn't stop. They pointed fingers, but you kept moving. They called you weak, but you grew stronger. The laughter was never about your failure. It was about their fear of your success. So embrace that fear. Use it as fuel. Turn their mockery into your motivation. Let every you can't become a watch me. This journey isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for those who can look failure in the eye and say, "Not today." It's for those who can stand alone when everyone else turns their back. It's for those who know that pain, struggle, and mockery are temporary, but giving up is forever. So ask yourself, when the world laughs at you next time, will you stop? Or will you rise louder, stronger, and more determined than ever before? The choice is yours. But remember this, they laughed, but you didn't stop. He was the boy who failed every exam. Not once, not twice, but again and again. His classmates whispered behind his back, calling him dumb, hopeless, a lost cause. The teachers had written him off, shaking their heads with disappointment and low expectations. Every time he walked into the classroom, he could feel the eyes on him, eyes full of judgment, pity, and laughter. "Why even try?" they seemed to say. "You're never going to make it." The world around him had already decided his fate, labeling him as a failure before he could even prove himself. But deep inside, despite every cruel word and mocking laugh, he held on to a quiet decision. He was going to prove them wrong. No one believed in him, not even himself sometimes. But on one cold night, when the house was silent and the world seemed to have forgotten him, he made a promise. No more excuses. No more giving up. He opened his worn-out books, lit a small lamp, and began studying with a fierce determination. It wasn't easy. Every page was a battle. Every formula, a mountain to climb. He had no backup plan. There was no safety net waiting for him if he failed again. No one to catch him. Just him, the darkness, and the burning desire to change his story. The journey was brutal. He was rejected countless times, by friends who stopped inviting him, by teachers who refused to give him extra help, by his own doubts whispering that maybe they were right. But he kept going. Night after night, he pushed himself harder, sacrificing sleep, fun, and comfort. He turned every you can't into watch me. The laughter around him only grew louder, but he didn't stop. Instead, it became his fuel. Each mocking word was a spark to his fire, each doubt a challenge to prove his worth. Years passed, and slowly, the impossible started to happen. He began to understand things others thought too hard. His grades improved. People noticed the change. But he didn't stop there. He kept pushing, kept learning, kept fighting. Eventually, he didn't just pass his exams, he excelled. He became the top of his class. The same teachers who had once doubted him now praised his genius. The classmates who laughed behind his back were silenced by his success. He wasn't just a student anymore. He was a symbol of what determination and grit could achieve. His story didn't end at school. He went on to build a life that no one had imagined possible for the boy who failed every exam. He became a pioneer, a creator, a leader, a person the world looked up to. And all because he never listened to the laughter. He didn't stop. Not when the world mocked him. Not when failure was the easiest option. He fought, struggled, and rose. Because he believed that the only way to silence the doubters was to outwork them, outlast them, and outshine them. So here's the lesson. They laughed at him. They called him dumb, hopeless, and a failure. But he didn't stop. He took every mocking word, every sneer, and turned it into the fuel that powered his comeback. The boy who once failed every exam became a man who redefined success. Now, I want you to ask yourself this. Are you ready to be laughed at while you build your comeback? Because the road ahead won't be easy. The world will mock you, doubt you, and try to stop you. But just like him, you have a choice. Will you let the laughter break you? Or will you let it fuel you? The answer will decide everything. They laughed, but what were they really afraid of? Laughter is often just fear in disguise. When people mock you, it's because your courage shines a light on their own doubts and insecurities. They laugh not because you are weak, but because they fear your strength. Every sneer, every cruel joke, is a mirror reflecting their own limitations. Understanding this truth is the first step in breaking free from their chains. You don't need their approval to rise. The world around you will always have opinions, but those opinions don't define your worth or your future. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. Learning to clap for yourself in silence is a skill many never master. While others cheer for the obvious victories, true strength is found in celebrating the small, quiet wins. The times you resisted quitting, the moments you pushed past fear, the days you showed up even when you didn't feel like it. These private victories build an unshakable foundation of confidence. They are the bricks that form the fortress protecting your dreams. So when you feel isolated, when the laughter grows louder and the support fades, remember to be your own loudest cheerleader. Applaud your effort, honor your progress, and never underestimate the power of believing in yourself when no one else does. The world only believes in winners. They don't care about your plans, your intentions, or your potential, only the results. This is harsh but true. People will mock you until you prove them wrong with action and success. So, focus not on their words but on your work. Pour your energy into building, learning, and growing. Let their doubt become your motivation. Every minute you spend obsessing over what they think is a minute stolen from your progress. Instead, channel that energy into consistent action. Show them through your relentless effort that their laughter was nothing but noise in the background of your rising triumph. That I end this journey, self-talk becomes your most powerful weapon. Repeat after me, they laughed. I smiled. They doubted. I decided. They mocked. I moved forward. These words are not just phrases, they are a mindset. When negativity comes at you like a storm, your inner voice must be louder, stronger, and unwavering. Remind yourself daily that every setback is a setup for a comeback. When the world says no, say yes to yourself. When they see failure, see opportunity. When they expect you to stop, start moving forward with even more determination. True mental strength is forged in the fire of adversity. It's easy to feel strong when everything goes your way, but real strength is standing tall when the whole world is against you. It's waking up every day with a heart full of courage despite the fear and doubts. It's understanding that pain is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Struggle is not a punishment, but a gift that makes you unbreakable. So embrace every challenge, every insult, every moment of loneliness as a chance to grow stronger. Your resilience will become your identity. Remember, nobody becomes a champion overnight. Champions are made one step at a time, one decision at a time, one day at a time. Mental strength means keeping your eyes on the prize even when the path is unclear and the critics are loud. It means moving forward when others stand still. It means believing in your dreams so fiercely that no amount of laughter or doubt can shake you. So today, I challenge you, when the world laughs, don't shrink. Smile back. When they doubt, double down on your efforts. When they mock, move forward with unwavering faith in yourself. Let your silence be your roar. Let your actions speak louder than their words. This is the mindset that will carry you from being laughed at to being respected. From being overlooked to being unstoppable. You are stronger than their laughter. You are braver than their doubt. You are more powerful than their mockery. Now, go out there and prove it, not for them, but for you. She was laughed out of the room. In a world dominated by men, where every word spoken by a woman was scrutinized and dismissed, she dared to dream bigger than anyone expected. Ambitious and passionate, she walked into rooms filled with doubt and mockery. People whispered behind her back, openly questioned her abilities, and laughed at her ideas. "You're unfit for TV," they said. "You don't belong here." They fired her. They humiliated her. They made her feel like she was less than enough. But she refused to let their laughter define her. Instead of breaking, she accepted the pain. She allowed the sting of rejection to fuel a fire inside her, a fire that burned brighter than their doubts. She rebuilt herself from the ground up. Night after night, she worked relentlessly, honing her skills, sharpening her voice, and learning everything she could about the world she wanted to conquer. She didn't seek their approval. She focused on her craft, delivering excellence even when no one was watching. Her dedication was silent but fierce. Slowly but surely, her hard work began to pay off. Doors that were once slammed shut started to open. Her name became known, not because of the laughter, but because of her unstoppable spirit and undeniable talent. She built a media empire from nothing, rising to a level where even those who once mocked her now quoted her words. She became a symbol of strength, resilience, and success, proving to the world that laughter is temporary but determination is forever. Her story teaches us a powerful lesson. The people who laugh at you today could be the ones who admire you tomorrow. It's not about avoiding the laughter or the pain. It's about using it as fuel to rise higher. She could have quit, but she didn't. She could have accepted their judgment, but she didn't. She chose to rewrite her story, and that choice changed everything. So now, I ask you, what's your excuse? Will you let their laughter define who you are? Or will you take control and decide your own story? The choice is yours. Your revenge isn't in shouting back or proving them wrong with anger. Your true revenge lies in your success, in what you build, create, and achieve while they're still laughing. It's not about how you react to their mockery, it's about how you rise above it. Every moment you spend doubting, hesitating, or waiting, they win. The world keeps moving, and time never waits for anyone. Every second you delay is a victory for those who doubted you, a chance for them to keep holding you down. But here's the harsh truth: your time is now. The clock is ticking. You cannot afford to wait for the perfect moment because it will never come. The perfect conditions do not exist. The only way forward is to act. Immediately, decisively, and relentlessly. This is your moment to take control of your destiny. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break free from the chains of fear and uncertainty. So start now. Write your goals down, clearly, boldly, without excuses. Put your dreams on paper and make them real. Start your training today. Whether it's learning a new skill, practicing daily, or pushing your limits, every small step counts. Don't just plan it. Record your first video, apply for that job, launch your dream project. Whatever you've been putting off, whatever fear has held you back, face it head on. This is not just motivation, this is a call to arms. You have the power to change your life, but power unused is power wasted. Fear and doubt will try to stop you, but remember, fear is a liar and doubt is a thief. They want to steal your future, but you can take it back by taking action. Every great story, every success you admire, started with that first bold step. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. You just have to start. Because action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Today, you decide if you will stay stuck in their laughter or if you will prove them wrong with unstoppable progress. The world doesn't owe you anything and no one is coming to save you, but that's your advantage. The power is in your hands. Use it. Let them laugh. Let them point fingers and whisper behind your back. Remember, they laughed at every legend before those legends rose to greatness. They laughed at every champion before the world bowed down to their success. What separates the winners from the losers isn't the absence of mockery, it's the refusal to stop despite it. They laughed, but I didn't stop. And now they watch. Now they follow. And one day, when you reach your victory, when you stand tall with your head held high, they will clap. They will respect you. But until then, you must keep moving forward, no matter how loud the laughter gets. What would you do in that moment, when the world doubts you, when the noise is deafening? Are you willing to be misunderstood, to face loneliness and pain while you rise? Because the path to success is never easy. It's filled with moments where only your hunger for victory keeps you going. Is your fear of their laughter stronger than your desire to win? If it is, then you will stay stuck. But if your hunger for success is fiercer than their mockery, then nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. So stand up. Rise. Fight. Because your story isn't finished yet. The world may laugh now, but it won't be laughing forever. You have one life. Make it count. They laughed, but you didn't stop. Now, it's your time to prove that the power to succeed lives inside you. The choice is yours. Will you let their laughter define you, or will you rise and silence the doubters once and for all?